Hello, leaders. Hey, this is Paul Grau, and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges. This is the daily show that equips team leaders to lead through the challenges they face every day. Now, today, we're continuing this interview with Joshua M. Evans. Josh is a keynote speaker that keynotes on culture and purpose, and his tagline is purpose or perish. Man, I love that. Now, if you want to contact Josh for any questions or to find out about how you can get him to come in and keynote for you, you can contact him at Josh, that's Josh, at joshuamevans.com. All right, so we got Josh back here again. And, yesterday we were talking about how important and how people can find their purpose and how fulfilling it is and how emotionally based it is and, how tie it to that big picture. But what if somebody just doesn't feel fulfilled in their role? What can they do then?
That's a great question. So if you are unfulfilled, you have three options. All right. You have three options. These are three options you have with most scenarios in the world, right? Because you always have more than two options. We know that. You have three options here. So if you're not fulfilled, the first option is you can do nothing, right? You can sit and suffer in silence and just continue with the drudgery, right? Continue with the monotony, relegate yourself to a life of mediocrity. That's what it is. That's the first option you have.
Yeah.
It's not
a lot
very
of people
appealing.
do that too, right?
Well, there are a lot of people that do that. They just bite the bullet and they just do it.
They feel like
that's
they're
option
trapped.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, everybody feels stressed, but hey, as we talked about a few episodes ago, there's no geographical bound on jobs anymore. You can do them anywhere.
Right.
So find something you're fulfilled about, right? So there brings the second one, right? So if you are unfulfilled, you can do, this is the what most people do when they decide to make a decision to change. They say, okay, I'm going to update my resume. I'm going to reach out to, these recruiters that have been calling me. I'm going to update my LinkedIn profile. I'm going to get another job. I'm going to get a better job at a better company. I'm going to feel purpose there. I'm going to feel more fulfilled there. That's what they think. And so what they will do is they will go and they will find another job and they'll do a few interviews and they'll go through their rounds of onboarding, and then boom, now they're at a new company. But guess what? After a few months in that role, they're going to revert to the old way of thinking, which is, I don't really have fulfillment in this role. I don't have that much purpose. And that's why I see, the average job hop is less than 2 years now. It's crazy to think about, but it's because people get into these roles. They didn't change their habits. They didn't change their perspective. They just changed their company, right? Or maybe even your title. Some people even change careers and they still end up running into this place where they don't feel fulfilled, where they don't see purpose. And that's because they didn't actually change what the problem was. It wasn't the company. Though sometimes it is, but in this scenario, it's not the company, it's your perception of your role. You see that there are no small roles, just small perspectives of our roles. And so your third option, which is the most effective way to deal with this kind of a challenge, right? Assess if that's a good company for you, obviously, because you want to fit for your talent, but look internally, choose to pursue purpose, right? We have to be in that constant pursuit. It's not something that we can remember every single day all the time. But if we can train ourselves to follow that impact, like we spoke about in the last episode, to follow what we're doing and have that emotional connection, knowing that we're contributing to something bigger than ourselves, then the role matters a lot less. It's the impact that we're focusing on. It's who we're having an impact upon that we're focusing on. Therein lies, I think, one of the best ways to not only motivate employees and keep them engaged, but to keep them in your ranks, right? Because you spend all this time pouring into employees, right? Pouring into your staff. And if you want to be better, you have to pour into them the right stuff.
That's so awesome. And that second one, they could do nothing, they could find another job, but they go right back into that old way of thinking. And they change they need to basically change their perspective and choose to pursue that purpose, like you said. Another reason why, or the fault there, right? If they don't know their purpose in that job, and they try to change jobs because of that, that goes back to poor leadership. Like we were talking the other day, the leader has to be a key player in this role to continually motivate and inspire their people by telling them how they fit into the big picture. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And to have purpose, you don't have to go work for a nonprofit. I have a very good friend who runs a nonprofit consultancy firm, and you'd love the name. It's called Do Good Better, as in like be a better nonprofit. It's pretty good, right? I got his stickers on my Yeti.
I like it.
But his big thing is he's like, people don't have more purpose just because they're doing something in the nonprofit world. They're faced with the same stuff that you have to do. They still have to respond to emails. They still have to fundraise. They still have to go and convince people that what they're doing is of value. It's the same thing with a for-profit company. So a lot of people, and I've seen this happen where people go, I want to be more fulfilled. So I'm going to go and donate my time to something worthy, but they get burned out on that too. And it's because they still get stuck in that minutia. They decide to go into the weeds. They lose sight of why they cared in the first place. And it happens to all of us in all of our roles, not just professional, right? In our roles as, chief XYZ officer, right? Or the VP of blah, blah, blah. Not just in those roles, our personal roles too, like our roles as friend, as parent, as spouse. We can lose sight of our purpose behind those roles as well. So by revisiting and trying to remember and following our impact, what we do, what we say, what we commit to in those roles, and remembering that, following our impact from our efforts, it allows us to revisit purpose and remember why we cared so much in the first place.
Hey, that's it for today. But don't forget to check out our website at clcteam.com to find out how we can serve and train you and your team. Also, don't forget to check out Josh at joshuamevans.com. And you can always email him at Josh, that's JOSH, at joshuaevans.com. Have a great rest of your day. And until tomorrow, run to your challenges.